Hello, welcome to Mart's Garage. I put out my video recently showing putting the last few parts on the 100E. There aren't any meets yet to go to, so later in the spring or the summer I'll be able to go to a few events in this car. I was very pleased with the comments that people made, encouraging me and saying that they've enjoyed the videos and sad to see that I've finished with it. And some people have mentioned the Thunderbird and some people have mentioned the coupe and the sedan actually. Glass, roof, stuff like that would be a good idea. But what I've started doing is trying to change things around a little bit. And I've moved the Roadster from there. Hello. I've just took the cover off old Rusty. So I thought I'd just get a little bit on video while it's uncovered. I haven't driven it for a couple of years. I dug it out and gave it a blast around a couple of years ago, possibly more actually. There is a video on it, have a look at it. Just look for Old Rusty in the video title. I don't have an engine for it at the moment. I don't intend to get it running and driving at the moment, but I'm not ruling it out. But I just thought I'd have a look because it's been covered up here for quite a while, and to be honest, I know it looks pretty rough, but it hasn't actually deteriorated terribly. Bear in mind, it was really rough to start with. The body don't look too bad. I painted these wheel arches not very well a while ago. It's hardly been used since I did that. I painted down to there and round there because they were really rusted, which is a byproduct of running at Pendine on the salty sea water. If there's any metal that isn't really well protected, it will tend to rust. The upper surfaces have got a little bit of rusty sort of something going on now. That's got worse over time. This all isn't any worse than it was. It was always pretty bad. Yeah, not looking too bad. The old high milers, Goodyear high milers. Super high miler, sorry. Super high miler. Yeah, I'll have to spray everything with a bit of oil just to protect it a little bit. I'm just looking at my wheels. These are the square weld 40 type wheels. These are a 4-inch wheel. But I believe there are 4-inch wheels that have the sloped well as well. These are square. That's square that side. Oh, that's square as well, I think. Oh, this one's sloped. That's a sloped well, but it is a 4-inch. These are all 4-inch wheels, and this one's got the angle, so it does show that not all of the 4-inch wheels have the square well. Got these MGB bucket seats which are in rough shape. There's the radiator. There's some boxes of bits in the back. Hang on, let's have a look. Oh, welding mask. Oh, I wonder where that went. Oh, tyre pump. wire. Oh, okay. Oh dear, it looks like something's been living in here. Oh dear, didn't expect that. Something's been in here, hasn't it? That's not good. Oh yeah, this doesn't look very good. Okay, I'm going to want to clean all this out then. There's a header. Engine parts here, look. Okay. What that is there, look. Doesn't look good though, does it? I don't like it. Okay, righto. Yucky. Yucky, yucky, yucky. Okay. This car was built during the early days of the internet becoming, you know, more popular to more people in the 1990s, and it was when things like the Ham were, you know, very small and close knit. So a lot of people on the Ham might remember this car and other forums as well. Rodder's Round Table, for instance, which was popular at the time. Well, not popular, it was small and close knit, and it's kind of preceded the Ham. But people will remember me building this car. I went to Holland and fetched the body. It was for sale by Henry Norberhuis, and the chassis came from a steam museum in Cornwall, you know, in England, and then it was all repaired and I fitted the body on the chassis, and you know, the rest is history. Model A headlights there, dropped axle, 40s brakes, late 40s brakes actually on the front. Yeah, so there it is. It'll live again one day, but I need to sort of get around to it really. I could do a lot of work to improve it because it was only ever very rough and ready. This is actually the better side. I repaired that panel and I repaired the door and I repaired that panel. Again, very rough and ready. Bear in mind this was well over 20 years ago, probably 30 years? Maybe not 30 years, I don't know. I'd have to tot it up, but it was a long time ago. And things were never really finished. So this could all be improved. There's a lot of work that could be done on this. This was all fatigued here, so it was welded up, gas welded years ago. And this is just because this is a, you know, an edge. This is vacuum hose that was split and just put onto there, just to protect me when I'm driving it. Okay. Right, I'm going to move the car now. Well, I'll try and move the car. See if it'll go. Might be a bit seized up. Okay. Anyway, there's a little walk around of old Rusty. I need to pick these things up. These have all fell when I had the cover on. These have all fell down the back. That's this was one of the early examples of Hudson steering. I picked up this Hudson steering box at the swap meet and adapted it on, and people still ask me about it today. This has become quite a popular conversion, and other steering boxes of this type, I don't know if it's Gemma or Gemma, Gemmer, they were used in Nashes and Plymouths and things like that, but it makes a nice unit on these, and that's how I did mine. And you can see there's like a countersunk screw at the bottom there, because the starter, because this is right hand drive, the starter goes right there. It all works really well. Okay, righto, I'll get these things out of the way and then I'll look at rolling the car out. Back in a bit then. Well, there's the Roadster in its new parking place. It'll sit there for a bit. It's got plenty of fresh air blowing around it, and it'll have the sun on it in the morning as well. I'll back the truck in. They're probably a little bit closer than I ought to have, but it's a bit of a tight fit. It's a little bit of a tight fit, but it can come and go from there, so that's not too bad. Okay, just part of the tidy up and rearrangement. That's something else I can do. Give the truck a good wash. Give it a good wash and put some linseed oil on it. And I need to do a little repair here. That needs to be reattached. Other than that, it's not looking too bad. There's a fair bit of surface rust on it, and a little bit of deeper rust here and there, but it doesn't seem to be faring too bad considering it's parked outside all the time. Okay, I'll bring you back when there's more to show. I've moved the Roadster to clear that space, because for instance I could park the 100E there, hence creating more space in here. The 100E could go elsewhere as well. So but what it also means is that when the Roadster was there, the Roadster was a non-running vehicle, so I couldn't move it easily to open this door, for instance, to back the Thunderbird out, or to get the coupe out, for instance. Also, as you can see, the Thunderbird's covered in stuff, the coupe's covered in stuff. The coupe is filthy dirty, the Thunderbird is filthy dirty. So what I think I will do, in other words, not as a massive project, but just something to try and bit of shop tidying really, and you know, just taking care of the workshop and that, is it would be good. People mentioned, yeah, just a bit of tinkering on the Thunderbird would be good to watch. So one of the things I want to do in the near future is have a look at the Thunderbird, check the oil, check the water, check for spark, you know, make sure the fuel pump is working and everything is still working. Give it a crank and see if it'll start. So a will it run on the Thunderbird, and then just make sure the brakes are working, get it out, give it a good wash, and you know, just run it up and down the drive a little bit. I can't really run it on the road because it isn't currently taxed to go on the road or insured. And because it's an expensive car, it's very expensive to just insure it as well, even if it would just be for a short time to run it on the road. Although I might ask the question. I ran the Thunderbird briefly, probably something like, it would have been not last year, but the year before, sometime in the summer last year, probably about 18 months ago. And that was just get it started, drive it down to the motorway and back. So that was the last time that run, and I'll check when it was, and I'll put that in here. So it would be good to get it running, get it moving, blow the tyres up, you know, just give it the once over, make sure everything still looks okay. And I want to do the same with the coupe. I don't know when that last run, but it hasn't run for quite a while. That's got the crusty flatty in it, that flathead that I've rebuilt. One of the first flatheads that I dragged back and got working, you know, even though it was in a desperate state. But what you can see on it, for instance, is the garnish mouldings for the sedan. So they all need to be hung back up and put away, or even cleaned and, you know, just made good and protected and, you know, like stabilised from deterioration. So I think it would be good to get the coupe running, check the brakes, check the oil, check the water, check that everything's working, get that fired up, backed out, washed. You know, take stock, wash the wheels, wash the tyres, everything, because it's been there and I've been working right next to it, so it's all covered in mess, isn't it? Tidy it out. So that's two things I can do. I can do a cold start, you know, a will it run on that and a will it run on that. And that'll kind of get, you know, and I can tidy up and, you know, things will start looking a bit better. Have a good sweep out. Hang on a sec. What are you eating? What are you eating? What have you got? I think it's that valve keeper from the flathead. Hello, baby. Good girl, Meg. If I start stroking one of them, the other one comes for a stroke. That'll do. Come on, don't be naughty. Don't be naughty. So yeah, just a round of tidying, putting things away, and trying to get organised. And you never know, I might get another little side project, but it would have to be a car that is complete and has just, let's say, just been off the road a few years and just needs a little bit of, you know, what they call recommissioning, and then something that I ain't going to fall in love with. I'll just get it running, make sure it drives, and then pass it on to somebody who, you know, would be more confident buying a car that is known to run. That could happen, couldn't it? You never know. Okay. I'll start the ball rolling by putting the battery on charge. Getting a bit old, that battery now. It might not be up to much, but you know, you can't start cars without a good battery, can you? Okay, back in a bit. So that's it for now then. The Roadster's gone. I've moved that. So I've cleared that space there. So that allows me to do something with these two cars. Okay, I hope you'll find that interesting when it comes round. But for now, thanks very much for joining me in the garage. Take care, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers then, bye. Have a look, see if that sparks. Okay, I'm going to have a quick look at the footage. Okay, I looked at the footage and I couldn't see a spark. So I will have a look at the points.